Or this also you are now watching Asing SL TV. In this video, I'm going to share how to create an in-cell dropdown based on the given list of data, let's say the goods, by using data validation. Let's first start without using VBA coding. As we can see, there are several duplicates in this list. In order to ensure we do not provide repeated options, we could make use of the unique function in Excel: bracket, select the array and close bracket. Press enter and we should have a list of unique values. However, as we can see, they are not arranged in ascending order. To ensure we provide a list of options that are arranged in ascending order, let's edit the formula. In front of the unique function, we could use short bracket and now move to the end, type comma. Ignore the second argument, type comma again and select ascending order, close bracket and press enter, and we should now have a list of options arranged in ascending order. Now select the cell where we wish the in-cell dropdown to be placed. Then go to the Data tab. In the Data Choose group, click on Data Validation. Under Allow, change to List and insert the source by using the button keyword. Select the array and click on Insert. Click on OK and we should now have the desired dropdown as we can see here. On the other hand, if you do not wish to add any extra list at any part of the sheet or even the workbook, we can actually insert this list by using VBA coding. Let's delete and clear the data validation. Click on data validation. This time we click on clear all. Click on OK and we can now proceed to developer tab. Click on Visual Basic. We could insert a module to write code or make use of the desired sheet. For example, this sheet named data validation. Double click it. As usual, always start by giving a name. For example, drop down, input, press enter and write the code within this procedure. If we expect this list can be updated from time to time, which means that we are expecting to have more and more items and the codes may not be fixed, we should always create dummy to record the last row number. To do so, let's introduce a dummy, let's say n, to record the last row number. We should call this sheet set equal to sheet 3 dot cells bracket. We need the row and the column indices. Let's back to the spreadsheet and check. As we can see, all the codes placed under column B, which is second column, and they start from the second row. Back to Visual Basic, we should provide the row index of 2, comma, and the column index 2 as well. Close bracket followed by dot and bracket, and we should check down to the column. So use XL down bracket followed by dot row to record the row number. Press enter. Next, let's introduce another dummy called data list to record the shorted list that we have done just now. Let's recall previously we made use of the short and the unique function to create a unique and shorted list. To make it simple, I'm going to call the worksheet function. So we need application dot worksheet function followed by dot short bracket, and we can now gather the data list by using the unique function. Again, use application dot the worksheet function, and this time we call the unique function bracket. Use the range function to tell Excel which array we are referring to. Back to the spreadsheet, we should start from column B, row 2. So we type B2. Remember, the range must be provided in terms of string, so we need quotation marks. Colon the last cell. Since we have a dummy to record the last row number, so we just have to provide the column index and end the entire list recorded under column B. So we start with column B, of course we need to end with column B. Quotation mark and now use ampersand to connect with the dummy of the row number, which is n. Close bracket to end the range function, close bracket to end the unique function, close bracket to end the short function. Press enter and we should now check how many items in this data list. Create another dummy, let's say count item, and we determine the number of items in the list by using the count function in Excel. Again, use the application .worksheet function to call the count function. So we .count. We should bear in mind that since the data in the given list are not numbers, so we should use count a function, bracket the list, that is data list, close bracket, and press enter. And I'm going to transfer this list to any part of this Excel. In order to avoid changing the data or the content of this workbook, we better create a new worksheet. We don't have to worry why do we simply create a new worksheet. We just have to bear in mind that if we are able to create a new worksheet, which means that we can delete at the end. In other words, we can create and delete quietly so nobody knows. So let's create a sheet. Use sheets.add. Immediately give a name after the sheet is added. I'm going to name this temporarily. However, this is not fixed since it would be deleted after the process is done. The important thing we should take note is provide string. So we need quotation marks. Press enter. And now let's transfer the detail list to the added new sheet. So we have sheets bracket the name of the sheets, that is temporarily. Use .range property to place the data list. We can place at any column that we like. We just have to remember always place under the same column. So if we start with column A, we have to make sure we end with column A. So simply start from the first row and end at where it should. So use ampersand to connect with how many items that we have. So we need count item, close bracket, and set equal to the data list. And we can now connect all the items as a single statement so that it can be added to the data validation. To do so, I'm going to use for loop. So starting from the first item up to where it should. So we have count item again. Next, create another dummy to be the statement. Simply name as my list and set equal to itself and join with the next item by using ampersand. Remember, we should use comma to split in between items. Ampersand again the next item which is placed in the row of the temporary sheet. Cells bracket, since we place the item starting from the first row and run through until the end of the item. So we should make use of the variable R to run through all the items. Comma, and we place it under column A, which has a column index of 1. Close bracket and press enter. Finish the first item, proceed to the next. So we have next I. And now we can bring them to data validation. Since we are going to call validation for a couple of times, in order to ensure that we don't have to keep typing validation, we can make use of with function. And now let's check back to the spreadsheet, and we are going to place the in-cell dropdown here, which is in G3. Back to Visual Basic and the name of sheet, which is sheet 3 dot the cell name. So we use range bracket type as string with the name G3, close bracket followed by dot validation property. Press enter, and we should always clear data validation first in order to avoid providing repeated values, repeated options, or any error. So we have dot delete, enter, and we can now add all the options to data validation by using dot add. Provide type, use colon and set equal to XL validate list since we need in-cell dropdown. Comma, use formula 1 followed by colon equal the list of options to be provided, that is my list. Press enter, and we should ensure that no blanks. So we have dot ignore blank set equal to true, and we need the in-cell dropdown. So we have dot in-cell dropdown also set equal to true, and the validation is considered complete. Start with, of course we need to end with. Press enter, and we can now delete the temporary sheet. To ensure that we delete quietly, we have to make sure no alerts displayed. So we need application dot display alert set equal to false, and we can now delete the sheet. So we have sheets bracket the name temporarily dot delete to ensure that the users will still be able to receive alert messages day after Make sure that we turn on this when we have deleted the sheet. So set back to true. And now let's run. Back to the spreadsheet, click on the drop down, and we should have the list in ascending order without repeated values. And we don't have any extra list or worksheets as we can see from the Microsoft Excel objects. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this. See you.